Aikwe, Nagnamalita, and this is my channel, The Midnight Librarian. And today I will be talking about my August 2021 TBR. I apologize if I'm talking a little quickly. I'm a little excitable right now. I got up earlier than what I'm used to. So I believe I'm tired and doing that thing where instead of being tired, my body is going into hyper. So bear with me. August is going to be busy. I can feel that already. I am going down to the Bay Area here shortly to visit some friends as they prepare for their wedding. It's not till next year, but we are going to go try on some wedding garb, which I'm excited for. I have a vlog planned for that. Don't hold your breath that it's going to be the wedding stuff, just because I want to respect their privacy. But we'll see if I can't go to some bookstores while I'm in the Bay Area. Fingers crossed. Otherwise, there is a baby shower coming up this month by another friend, so I feel like I will be busy making stuff for that. And then university starts, so all students are moving in onto the campus, and university is starting at the end of, towards the end of the month. Our library will be open partially. Basically, I work in access services, so it's or circulation. And so we will be opening our basement essentially and helping students get the services that they need for textbooks, ID cards, equipment like laptops, etc., to make sure they have what they need for school before school starts. So that I feel like will be a little busy. We are hesitant to say whether or not it will be, just because we don't know how many to expect. We don't know yet. Our library has been closed for a semester now, not only due to the pandemic, but also due to construction. So we're hoping to work this out. We'll see. So yeah, I expect it to be busy, but I still want to very much read. So with that, I am very much in a wanting to read spooky stuff mood. So currently I am listening to 2 audiobooks. The first is Below the Edge of Darkness. This is a memoir by Edith Widder, exploring light and life in the deep sea. I have started this already. I'm really excited for it. I love this cover. It only has 10 ratings and 11 reviews on Goodreads. But I did get this with my Libro credit. If you are interested in Libro FM, I will have an affiliate link down in the description down below. Basically, what this does is that if you use my link to sign up for Libro FM and you get through the trial run and decide to go ahead and pay the $14.99 a month, I will get another credit. And basically, when you pay $14.99 a month, you too will get a credit a month every month you pay. And it's kind of like Audible in that you can choose whatever book they have available through Libro with that credit. You doing that through my affiliate link just makes it so that I get an extra credit every month. So just to be transparent, but I have really enjoyed Libro so far. I think it's a better alternative to Audible, so that's where I'm at right now. But yes, I'm listening through to Below the Edge of Darkness, which makes me, I think, is helping the spookiness right now, because this cover is amazing, but it's also a little creepy to me. Ocean, I find, especially deep ocean, I find entirely creepy and spooky. One of my many interests is marine biology, but the ocean scares the hell out of me. It's vast, it's huge, it's very unknown, and I don't like swimming in anything I can't see the bottom of. So yeah. I'm also listening to MEATEATER'S Campfire Stories, Close Calls by Rinella. Brad and I are both listening to this together. It's a relatively short book, but we're kind of just treating each chapter as like a podcast, and kind of when we both have free time and are in the same room together, we'll listen to it. But basically, this is a collection of stories of that Steve Rinella put together of like part of his production team as he does MeatEater, which is a Netflix series about hunting, and his friends that he's gotten close to throughout the years of doing the Netflix series, as well as overall just hunting friends in general. Brad hunts. I enjoy watching Steve Rinella's MeatEater. I think it's really interesting to learn his processes of hunting, but I ultimately enjoy nature fishing and hunting shows, which didn't think I'd like the last two, but I mean, I'm with a hunter and fisherman, so there's that aspect, as well as the aspect of consistently learning something that I don't know of. So yeah. And then of course I'm still reading Sorrowland by River Solomon. This follows Vern, who is 17 years, I think she's 17 years old, 7 months pregnant, and ends up escaping a cult and goes into the woods and ends up having twins and is just surviving in the woods. That's all I'm really aware of so far. I'm not very far in. I am in a bit of a physical reading slump. I have been heavily relying on audiobooks, so we'll see how I go through this month, really. In terms of the rest of my plans for the month of August, my top priority is My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. This is a rollover from July. I meant to get to this in July and just didn't. Now it's top priority for August. This is an arc given to me by Saga, so thank you so much to them. This is Stephen Graham Jones' most recent work that will be out August 31st. So I hope to read this as soon as possible and get a review up for you. But basically we are following Jade, who feels trapped in a slasher movie. Her small town is being taken over by tourists. Instead of canoes in the lake, she sees yachts and celebrities. But tourists are disappearing. So, we'll see how this comes together. I'm really excited. Another top priority I have is the last book of the Wayfarer series, which is The Galaxy and the Ground Within by Becky Chambers. I have a physical copy. I don't know where I put it, so the cover, but yes, this is the fourth book in the Wayfarers series. I keep wanting to say trilogy because it was a trilogy and now it's a series. I don't know what this is about, but this series so far has been very sci-fi opera-y, very character driven. I did enjoy The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet more than I did the other two, A Close and Common Orbit and Record of a Spaceborne Few, but I have enjoyed them nonetheless, and hope to finish off the series with this book. I don't know if more are supposed to come out or not, but I'm hoping that once I finish this book that I will have a full review of the whole series for you. So now in terms of the rest of my reading plans, I don't know where to go. Like I said, I'm in a spooky mood, but don't know which avenue to take, whether it is to read more Indigenous horror and continue on with Eden Robinson and go with Son of a Trickster. This is a trilogy that I have yet to start. It has a TV adaptation out already. Unfortunately, there will only be, I think, the 2 seasons. No, I think it's just the 1 season. I think season 2 was canceled. But basically, we are following a young boy in high school, or a young man in high school, who ends up having to grow up more than he has to as he takes care of the adults around him. His grandma always considered him a cursed child, and which he never understood why until he realizes who his father is. So that's all I really know about it. That's all I really want to know going into it. I've seen bits and pieces of the show that was produced in Canada, but a U.S. company picked it up, and I want to say it's a CW but I don't think it is. I'm not sure. But I've seen bits and pieces and it was pretty creepy looking. So I'm hoping the book has similar vibes. So we'll see if I go into this spooky branch of the horror tree or if I go into some paranormal. This would also be a July rollover. This is The Last Werewolf by Glen Duncan. This follows Jake Marlowe, who is the last werewolf, and after 200 years he has an appetite of good Scotch books and the pleasure of the flesh. But after 200 years he's wondering if the legend should end with him, and he's considering ending his own life. But there are two groups of people that, for their own selfish reasons, wants to keep Jake Marlowe alive. And there is A Dark and Hollow Star by Ashley Shuttleworth. This is, I believe, a 2021 release. I really enjoy this caricature. Art on the cover, who's created by Christoph Young, is the artist. But this one follows some fae courts who has been living alongside humans but do not interact with them until some gruesome murders start happening. That's all I know about it. That's all I really want to know about it. This would, I think, pretty easy. Nope, it's just under. Is it really? I think it's close enough to 500 that I would consider this a tome for the year. So with the acknowledgements, it's 500 pages. So I would consider that a tome. So that would help with that goal for the year. I have not been reading very many of them, so we'll see. Or do I want to go more horror thriller? Find Me by Anna Frasier follows a serial killer who has finally offered to show San Bernardino detective Daniel Ellis to the isolated graves of his victims. The hiccup is he'll only show them if FBI profile Rennie Fisher accompanies them, and Rennie is the serial killer's estranged daughter. This for some reason is giving me like Hannibal vibes, not the TV series. It's for some reason giving me that vibe, mixed with Criminal Minds. So I'm kind of feeling that too. Or if The Galaxy and the Ground Within isn't enough sci-fi for me, I kind of want to go more into the sci-fi route, possibly, with these two. This is All Systems Red by Martha Wells. This is the first in the Murderbot series. I don't know much about the series. I keep hearing like it's suddenly very popular, or has been growing popularity, I feel, on BookTube, and I'm kind of excited to get into it. Without knowing much about it. It's a relatively short book. I think there's multiple, and I know there's multiple books after this, so this could potentially be very interesting. All I know is that it has to do with a robot that calls itself Murderbot, but I don't know if it necessarily murders people. Very curious. And then, of course, there's The Martian by Weir, which is another book that I've been meaning to get to. I don't know if the adaptation... I've seen the movie adaptation. I don't know if it's like a direct adaptation from the book. But basically, if it is... basically, we're following this guy named Mark, who was one of the first people to walk on Mars, but now 6 days later he's wondering if he's going to be the first person to die on Mars. That's all I really want to know going into it. Despite seeing the movie and knowing how the movie went, that's all I really want to know going into the book. So yeah, this would knock off a couple of book goals for me in terms of reading book with a movie adaptation as well as a book of the month book. So good things, good things. So yeah, those, let me hold them up for you. So yes, this is my August hopeful pile. Like I said, I will most likely be relying fairly heavily on audiobooks again, but I am hoping to be able to get to at least a couple of these, depending on how my mood is. Definitely My Heart is a Chainsaw. I really want to get that done. And just because I want to absorb everything right now. If you have any thoughts or about which of these I should go into, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Otherwise, if you've read any of these, I'd like to hear your thoughts and opinions on that as well. Please no spoilers down in the comments below. If you've made it this far, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you have yet to do so already, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon to get notified when I post more content. I think I did this in a pretty good time. I hope that you are in the mental mindset to enjoy your reading. Be sure to check out my Raise Awareness links down in the description down below, and I will see you in a new video very soon. Chew!